Oh. Let's get a nice little coffee in here. This is the raw footage.
You gotta have more slurp than that. You gotta practically fillet that.
Oh, let's do it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. It's your boy Jake here. I'm joined with my good friend
RJ.
Hello.
That's me. I'm RJ.
I am the good friend. Oh,
We're
fuck.
good friends together.
It's very true. Well, pilot episode, if you want to call it that. It's pretty much what it is.
The worst kind.
It is absolutely.
That and like the very special episode about drug addiction. Tune in next April.
We're gonna save some lives.
Just say no.
Just say no, kids.
Alright, so we should have some ground rules for this. And I figured I'd ask on air, because that's in my opinion, the best place to ask.
Yeah.
Content-wise, how much do we censor ourselves? You know, like, because do we, and feel free to bleep these words out in editing.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
I was gonna say, can we say shit, cock, cancer? Can we call people cancer?
Absolutely.
Normies.
Listen.
All right. Can I ask the question?
Yes.
All right. Does anal sex cure an itchy butthole? Like, are you gonna have to bleep that whole thing out, or can we start the podcast?
Listen,
on that?
my whole thing with this is like, homie, I don't give a fuck about advertisers. Dude, I don't want ad revenue for this shit. Come on, we're having a good time here.
We want a coffee sponsorship. I already told you that.
Dude. No, absolutely not. I don't want any censorship. Please speak your mind. Yeah.
All right.
So fuck, man. You want to go right into it? You want to get some topics ready? What are you thinking?
Sitcoms. I told you that I wanted to talk about sitcoms because there's something that's been bothering me for quite some time.
All right, lay it on us.
Might as well talk about it.
All right.
So, you know how you watch TV, you'll watch cartoons, you'll watch live action TV, you'll watch more cartoons if, you are
a man-child.
Just like me. And you see parodies of sitcoms all the time.
Yeah.
With the whole, characters will come in, they'll have the big laugh track after every single little comment, and it's funny because it hits so close to home. There's no real exaggeration there. That is what sitcoms are. If you watch sitcoms, that is what they are even today. It's not just a parody of 80s sitcoms or something. The Big Bang Theory still uses a heavy laugh track.
It's very true.
And what bothers me is the fact that these parodies have been around so long that they're not even funny to me anymore. If a TV show goes and does an episode that's parodying sitcoms, I mean, it gives me a bit of a chuckle, I guess, but it's not funny in the least to me anymore, really. Not in any hardy har look at them sticking it to the sitcom companies or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it really, really weirds me out that the parodies have gone on for so long that they're not funny to me anymore. But yet sitcoms have barely changed. You'd think after decades of being mercilessly made fun of, you'd think they'd eventually change, but no, they haven't changed at all.
On the heels of sitcoms and the well, not sitcoms, but parody shows and the getting stale, you know what breaks my actual heart?
What?
Saturday Night Live is garbage. Have you seen an episode lately?
Alright, I haven't seen an episode lately, but I do kind of have an opinion on this topic.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to get better eventually. I mean, if you look at the history of Saturday Night Live, it goes into slumps very regularly. So it won't surprise me if it's really shit right now and you go 2 more years and they hit a golden age. That won't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched Saturday Night Live recently, and that really makes me feel like I'm missing out on a cultural touchstone.
Does it really though?
Kind of. Even shitty Saturday Night Live episodes are shitty Saturday Night Live episodes that people are going to be quoting 10 years from now.
I mean, I see it as something as, well, maybe that's not fair to say. I would say I see it in the same vein as The Simpsons. You know, where it was such a big thing forever ago, but now it's just like, it's hogwash, man. It's not good. But I guess that's not fair to say because it is a revolving cast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they might hit a really nice point in their whatever they're doing. I like your little notebook.
Oh, thanks, babe.
That's indicates that everything we're saying is just pre-canned dialogue. I'll bet you if I read that right now, it's all like, make sure to make penis jokes after every other topic.
It says, guys, I'm really funny. Please laugh. Please laugh. And it says, please laugh for 50 pages. Thank you. Oh, man. I want to talk about psychopaths. RJ,
Okay.
All right, so check it. Did you have any interesting characters in your hometown when you were growing up? You know the
That's a
type.
good
You know the
question.
type I'm talking about.
Like people you think are psychopaths?
Yeah.
Let's think.
Just kind of little cuckoo, you know, little off the rocker. You know what I mean? Let me give you an example. All right.
All right.
So check it.
Maybe I need to be inspired.
Right. In my hometown of blank, in my hometown, there was a man. Yeah. He was famed for eating peanut butter for every meal. He was called the Peanut Butter Man.
I don't know if I believe you.
It's just too out there of a premise. You just can't buy into it. But the fucking okay. So check it. When this guy was, or rather, when I was exposed to this guy, this was around like 2002. So this was after September 11th.
Dinosaur age.
Yeah. But okay, this guy, I shit you not, looked so goddamn close to Osama bin Laden. As a little baby boy, I was scared of this kid because I was like, the real world is so close to me. Osama bin Laden lives in my town.
Oh my god. No, I never had anyone that was that scary.
You didn't have any local legends?
No.
Wait, another guy that lived down the street from us called Crazy Mike. He's just kind of the male version of a barren spinster.
Oh my god.
And he just lived in this big, dilapidated, like, horror story mansion house type soiree. But no, he was an I don't think he even spoke coherent English. But he would always, like, I remember one time we were out front playing, and he was in this big fucking sedan, and he would just roll past us and, like, leer at us, like,
Did he ever offer you any candy?
No, he did not.
Oh, missed opportunity.
But the fucked up thing is, he would do that, and he would go around the block, and he'd do it again. And he would do it again. And eventually, my dad had to come out and be like, what the fuck is your problem, you psycho?
I'm convinced that man thinks he's in a horror movie.
He's dead now, so he very well may be.
Maybe. Have you ever known someone, like someone close, like friend, family member, something like that, who was outright convinced that they were a psychopath?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh. I've known multiple people like that, and it's always really weird.
Really?
Yeah, I've known multiple people who, come to the conclusion that, like, empathy is just an instinctual response, and they realize it's not like in the TV shows or whatever, where people have this just deep empathy and desire for altruism or anything. They realize that, see that in themselves, and then decide, oh, I must be a psychopath. Yeah. I've had multiple people just tell me that, like, oh, hey, I'm a psychopath. And I'm just thinking, like, well, why would you share that with me? Now, if anything happens, if I hear about some corpse turning up in a ditch somewhere, and the cops ask me, oh, hey, do you have any leads? I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, such and such down the street, they came up to me the other day and they told me, hey, did you know I'm a psychopath?
I think sometimes I'm a sociopath. I don't think I process emotions correctly.
I don't think anyone does, honestly. I mean,
there's so many little things. Okay, let's get on this topic really quick because this is a good topic. There are so many just like minute, tiny things that make you quote unquote human, and it's just so much to take in that goddamn everybody is on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
That's something I figured out like I've just been thinking about
Yeah.
that. Honestly, I've been thinking about that recently.
Yeah.
There's honestly no one I know, like, personally,
Yeah.
who honestly doesn't have some, like, just traits that just make me
Yeah.
think, oh, hey, are they autistic?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something that comes up quite a bit in my just day-to-day thinking when
Yeah.
I'm interacting with people. Like, hey, is this person really, like, that out there?
Yeah.
So, but
It makes you
I
think.
think that's just a people thing.
Yeah, it really is. It's a people thing. It makes you think like what a person is, or like what is a human being, because man, it's like they say, there's like 9 billion different types of people on the planet.
One thing that's always been interesting to me is the fact that most people have some form of sexuality.
Yeah.
You know, most people have some type of person that's their type of person. They understand, you know, sexual desire, all of that stuff, and experience it in some people more intensely than others. And so, to me, I feel like that's part of being a person. So when someone comes up to me and tells me like, "Oh, I'm asexual. I don't care about that sort of thing," you know, it's weird to me. Like, I obviously don't judge you. I think that's kind of a cool trait to have. It lets you get shit done more, but
I agree with that.
it is
fucking 100%.
it is an interesting trait because I think of that as just human.
Yeah.
Being human, and
Yeah.
then there's a lot of people who are like, I don't give a shit about that.
I mean, I guess I can understand that.
Yeah.
I definitely understand. Well, I say I understand, but I don't, you know. But
It is an interesting thing to think about, just because, you know, I like girls. I like girls a lot, and I can understand when someone likes guys.
yeah.
But if you go like, oh, I don't like either, I'm not gonna judge you.
Yeah.
I'll still hang out with you, but it's kind of weird because that's something I just cannot relate to.
Yeah.
Just not at all.
I know what you mean. I understand that. Like, obviously you're tolerant or whatever, but it's not something that you can.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to. You can try to understand, but you can never really understand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's a good way to say it, I guess.
Like, I can understand. It's easier for me to say understand when someone says, "Oh, I don't like that color. I prefer this color."
Yeah.
I can understand that because at least then you still like a color.
RJ, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
You like purple?
Yeah, I like purple. Really deep, dark, royal purple.
Royal purple would be my second favorite color.
Oh, really? Purple isn't good enough for you. What's your first?
I really enjoy pastel pinks, if not hot pinks.
Okay, you know I like those.
Yeah.
That's the 80s in me talking.
Yeah.
I do, when I'm playing video games, if there's customization options, color customization options,
Yeah.
it's always either pastel pink and like whatever that weird shade of green is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like that. I wouldn't say metallic, but it's definitely muted.
Yeah, it's
God,
just
I wish there
weird.
was. I wish we could find the name for it.
Right, I've never been able to find the name. If anyone knows like the 80s green,
Yeah, check it out. All right, so it's like a
No.
lime. It's like a lime. It's like a desaturated lime green.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
pretty much exactly what I describe it as. And it always goes with pink. It just goes well with pink.
Yeah, it does.
But
I was thinking about colors the other day. Do you know what a really underrated color is?
beige.
I think. Fuck you. I think orange is a really underrated color because it goes so well with every other color, save for probably green.
I don't know if I agree with you.
Really? What do you think?
I'm not. See, that's the thing. Orange is probably like my least favorite color.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I don't like orange, but it goes so well with every other color on the spectrum except green.
All right. I guess I can respect that.
So check it. Blue is orange's complement, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Because they're
very
on other
nice.
sides of the color wheel, folks. If you're still in art class, you'll talk about it next week. You'll really impress your art teacher if
Yellows.
you tell them about the color wheel.
Yellows go with orange because it's like
Because they're right next to each other.
right. So it's like a warm tone.
Same thing with red.
Right. Same thing with red. Same with the orange. Things like that. I think it works well with purple too. Orange and purple.
I used to play Neopets.
Yeah. If you look at it,
Of course I did.
we need to talk about Neopets at some point.
We will. But anyways, I remember if you painted your pet, because for some reason that was just a thing you could do.
Yeah.
You could get a paintbrush and paint your pet, and sometimes it gave them like wings or some shit.
RJ, you are a. Let me stop you there. RJ, you are a Neopets connoisseur. Every time we hang out, first thing you say, you wanna school me on Neopets lore.
Yeah, always.
So let me ask you a question, since you're the resident Neo-patois.
Mm-hmm. Quite the Neopian I am.
I'm aware of Neopets.
All right.
I'm aware of pets.
All right.
I heard of the existence of pets.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Was that ever a thing? Really?
No, that's been a thing forever.
Really?
Very rare. Your pets, there's like a random chance that like a bug will get on them, and that will
fucking parasite.
If you like, and this is me thinking back to old school Neopets lore. So if there's any like new Neopets shit like in the past like 2 years that I would like a connoisseur like me wouldn't have deigned to learn about. I'm sorry for being wrong. But anyways, as I remember it, like a bug could get on your pet and be called a pet. And it was just this rare thing that you'd only know by like examining your pet in the inventory. I think I remember hearing about a pet.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what that'd be, like a germ?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That is something that we really wanted to go back and kind of do a retrospective of. Just kind of go back to the days of yore, as it were. Mm-hmm. Speaking of rabbit holes, me and RJ, we love to go on these rabbit holes. Sometimes I'll just pull up and be
start
like,
talking about orange, and now we're talking about pets. No, go on with what you're talking about.
That's how a conversation works.
I guess it is.
But sometimes I'll just pull up and be like, RJ, get in. We're solving a murder.
He's not even lying here. This is something that has
It's very true.
up.
We'll just go to each other and be like, hey, have you heard of blank? Or how have you gone down? Hey, just kind of look at this. Just tell me what you think. And then 5 hours later, whoa!
Mind blown.
One we went down very recently was Richard Heen.
Oh my god. It's Heaney.
It is Heaney.
I think you're supposed to pronounce
it is
E at
Heaney.
the end. That's
So
a
you
weird
fucked
name.
me up because you were calling him Heen.
No, what? When did I ever say that? It's
Okay,
Heaney.
I think...
Because I think of the song, like Richard Heaney, Science Detective.
No, it was,
I don't know.
It was because you spelled it wrong. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I spelled it intentionally wrong.
But for everybody who doesn't know, Richard Heaney, the Balloon Boy man, maybe you heard of this. RJ, do you want to give a little synopsis of the story that people might know?
All right, so here we are. The year is a few years ago, and there's this guy. He's been on wife swap twice because the first time he was like a mimetic asshole, and so they did like an all-star episode and brought him back, and he's just got a great big personality. He's known for his great big aggressive I'm better than you personality. I can appreciate him.
He's kind of a fucking goofball, but go on.
I can appreciate him. But anyways, the year is whatever it is, and you hear on the news that there's some kid flying away on like a balloon that looks like it's made out of like aluminum foil or some shit. And he's flying away, and everyone's losing their goddamn minds, and the family's like, oh, hey, we invented some crazy-ass flying saucer bullshit, and our kid seems to be up on it. Please help us.
Also, they were screaming.
Yeah.
They weren't saying it so calmly. They were like, our son might be up there. No, they were like, our son is definitely suffocating right now. Please help him.
I was editing it for dramatic effect.
Dramatic? Like a German language?
I suppose.
Okay.
But anyways.
So like, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well, this kid's up here in the sky, supposedly. This big rescue effort, and then, a couple hours later, as far as I know, I don't know the exact time frame.
It was like, I think 3 or 4 hours later.
I remember it was enough that it got on the news before it was found out, but basically they found the kid in the attic. Yeah. Turns out there was no kid in the balloon at all. Found the kid in the attic, and then it became this huge shit of did the family like make this all up as a hoax, because the family was already known for, among people who knew them, family was already known for like trying to get famous. Like they always wanted to get a TV show off the ground. They were storm chasers. They were like amateur storm chasers, actually. They're a weird family.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just this... It ended up being well known that, hey, this was a big hoax. Look how crazy these people were. I mean, right now, the family... The kids, the last time I knew, were in a heavy metal band that the dad founded. So, I mean, it's just a weird family all around.
Okay, so kind of the public consensus of this whole ordeal was this family, you know, they did this whole thing in an effort to get a lot of attention, get famous, things like that. They actually ended up pleading guilty to these charges, but it turns out it's not so cut and dry, and it might not be exactly as it seems.
Hold up, I need to stop you there.
All right.
Just have a disclaimer, so we don't get a 1,000 comments later about being ripoffs. So you guys know, it's not like we did any actual real research ourselves.
Oh, I did. I was reading all the fucking police transcripts or whatever.
Okay,
But,
you did more research than I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
no, but the way we got started with this was
Internet historian.
yeah, the way we got started with this was the internet historian video. We were kind of marathoning those, and we were like, oh, let's laugh at this fucking guy. Oh, let's laugh at fucking Shia LaBeouf. You
Great
know?
YouTube channel if you're ever looking to...
Yeah, check it out a lot. This guy is really talented. Does things very well, presents things very professionally.
Has the best avatar for talking.
It's very true. But yeah, no, it might not be so cut and dry. The reason this guy actually pled guilty was so his wife wouldn't get deported, and he didn't want to fight the corrupt justice system because he could have like lost his kids. His wife could have been deported. I already said that. Well, damn it.
There's a lot of evidence for it. Supposedly, I guess there is actual real evidence that this justice system, like the sheriff's department or whatever.
Yeah. The sheriff.
Like I said, I didn't do any research.
Right,
so.
right. The sheriff was taking money.
Didn't you like outright say that he was happy because this case was a big case for him or something?
Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing. Was they saw it as like a high profile. The entire country is watching this guy. So if they can get a conviction and get a lot of eyes on them, then that's good for them. They talk about another case where because they convicted this guy, they all got raises. They all were seen as heroes in the public eye. Kind of that sort of thing. So that was kind of the motivation. I say that in quotations because this is all a big fucking conspiracy. But
I just find it interesting.
It is
I don't have
very
an actual
interesting.
Opinion.
But he outlines the court record and just the contradictions between what he actually told detectives and the like and what actually went into the record. And he provides just every contradiction. Just shows, hey, this is what I said, this is what they said, it's not right, this is what they said, this is what I said, doesn't match. And it just paints such a jarring kind of picture, you know?
It is really interesting because we were watching that one video and they, like, in court, they outright said, oh, he said there was like 3, what were the battery cell types? They were like 3C batteries or something like that.
Yeah,
and they were like, that's wrong, it's only like 1 battery. And then he went back and looked at the pictures they provided.
Yeah.
It clearly shows 3 batteries.
So he looks at their pictures that they took on the crime scene, I said that, but and it shows exactly what he said. It was so many 9-volt batteries, and it was connected to a taser. Well, in the actual court document, they say, oh, there was nothing of the sort. It was just yay with an egg timer.
Like 1 battery.
Yeah, 1 battery with an egg. So they were trying to say it was a fluke, but no, in their own photographs. That's so strange.
It is interesting because it's not just it's not just misreporting something, like casually mentioning, oh, we found a battery and an egg timer.
Yeah.
It is outright saying, we were told this and it was wrong. Here's what we actually saw, and then they show the pictures and it shows that it was the first one.
It's presented very well. Definitely check it out. It is a making a murderer-esque just rabbit hole. You will lose hours.
I didn't, but yes, Jake did. So that's impressive.
Oh God, what else you want to talk about, man? Anything else you got floating around?
Oh, so let me think. I'm sure you used to play RuneScape.
RuneScape's a good topic.
It is a good topic.
Did you ever have a RuneScape girlfriend?
I didn't.
I didn't.
I did, however, make an alternate account once that, was a girl, and everyone started asking me if I'd be their RSGF.
Yeah.
And I never accepted because none of them were offering me a large enough amount of gold. And I was a little kid back then who had all these ideas of, oh yeah, I'm manly, I'm not gonna be anyone's girlfriend unless it's like at least 2K. 2K seemed like a lot to me back then.
Women, do you hear that? Know what you're worth, please. Know what you're worth.
This is a good PSA.
This is a good PSA. When I was exposed to RuneScape, I was a teeny tiny baby boy. And
how teeny tiny is that?
like 8.
Alright.
Is that tiny? I don't know.
That's pretty tiny.
I
think I was like 9.
I was 1 year old when I was exposed to RuneScape. I'll say that to make myself feel better. And so somebody came up to me like, "Hey man, you want a nice sword?" And I was like, "Yeah, dog. Yeah. I don't want to work for anything." He's like, "Yeah, just follow me here to this forest." It's like, "Yeah, it's okay. I can't give it to you."
You went north, didn't you?
I did go north.
You did go north.
Yeah. And then I got my fucking head cut off.
Oh, that does remind me. Alright, did you ever do like the quests in RuneScape?
No, fuck that.
Oh, well.
That's too much work. I was a baby boy. I just wanted to look at the trees.
At least back during my time of it, so this was before RuneScape 3.
Right.
Okay. The last quest a free player could do without getting membership was the Dragon Slayer quest. You had to join an NPC guild that required so many quest points to enter in, and it basically equaled like all of the available quests, if I remember right. And it was this quest where it was actually like, it's really the only one of the free player quests that was like really that involved. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't say that. RuneScape quests are amazing. But anyways, this quest had like, you had a few things you were trying to do.
Right.
You had to find the path like to this island that this dragon lives on, because the dragon, I think its name was like Elvarg. The dragon had like completely destroyed this island of like cranberry sauce or something, and you had to find out how to get to this island, and you had to get this shield, the Dragonfire shield, or like the anti-dragon shield, something along those lines. Mm-hmm. It's been a while, and so it was this kind of like really big involved quest to get to where the dragon was, be prepared to go slay it, and actually get into the fight with it, right? Mm-hmm. And I was getting all prepared to fight this dragon. I found the charts to get to this island, gave them to the NPC that needed them or whatever. I got the shield. I think when you first get the shield, it's like not activated, like you need to get magic into it or something.
Yeah.
I can't fully remember. But I get to the boss fight with this dragon. Okay? I've filled my inventory up with lobster because that was like the best food. And I go to fight this dragon. And I'm fighting it, and I'm doing pretty well. I'm eating my lobster. And it's fucking my day up. It's a strong boss to, this little kid me that doesn't know real strategy. And I'm fighting this dragon, and then my internet cuts out. Like it was like storming or something. And so like the lines won't go down for a little bit. And I'm obviously freaking out. And in RuneScape, you're in combat when you close the window or like turn off your computer or whatever. Your character will continue auto fighting this until the combat ends, and then like it waits like I think like 30 seconds or a minute, and you log out. Well, I'm freaking out. I like go unplug the router and I plug it back in, hoping that fixes it, and it does. I go to log in again, and it turns out that while I was gone, while I was unable to play, my character kicked that dragon's ass.
Really?
Yeah. I wake up. I don't know why I say wake up. I log in. And oh, it's more dramatic when you say like, oh, I wake up with a dragon's head in my inventory. Yeah, I logged in. There was this dragon's head in my inventory, and I was happy. I'd beat the quest. I was the ultimate dragon slayer, and it happened while I wasn't even playing. So I guess I feel a bit cheated, but still. I'm glad I didn't have to go over, because I remember, like, paying a lot to get all that lobster.
Yeah.
Because that was back before the Grand Exchange. That was back before you could just buy lobster. You had to go find someone who was really good at fishing.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
What?
Did you ever play Diablo 2?
A little bit when I was younger.
Did you ever play the expansion pack?
I don't think so.
All right, so check it. In Diablo 2, I'm not going to go too far into this because I'm not a huge fan of the series or whatever. Diablo
Good.
3
Torchlight's better.
Diablo 3 fucking blue. Base game, there's 3 Brothers of Chaos. That's the story, whatever. So you have Diablo, you have Mephisto, and you have Baal, whatever.
Right.
So in the base game, you can fight the first 2, but to fight the last one, you need the expansion pack. So I beat the base game or whatever, and then I go to beat the last boss. Here is my fucking brilliant strategy for beating the last boss. You can warp there, right? So I warp to the gate, as it were, and I go in. He does his fucking intimidating line. He's like, "My brother shall not have died in vain," whatever. So I fucking like hit him till I die, and I go back, and I die, and I go back, and I die, and I go back. I go back like probably upwards of 200 times, and I beat the game. And I'm the hero. I'm the hero I always knew I could be.
You sound like a scrub. That does remind me of something, though.
What's up?
Another game. Have you ever played Divinity Original Sin?
No.
It's a bit newer. They just came out with the second one. The second Original Sin game. The Divinity series is a bigger series. It's really good. But the Original Sin games for Divinity are isometric, like Diablo.
Yeah.
They're 3D.
Yeah.
And they're turn-based. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, they're really good. And you've got a party of 4. And here's the great thing. In the first Original Sin is 2-player co-op. Okay? When you start the game, you actually customize two protagonists. They're equally protagonists, okay? It's not like one and their sidekick, and it's not like you and your friend both have a normal protagonist. When you get together, it's both of them. No, the way that the game works is that the person hosting the game gets to customize these 2, and then they can control those 2 and do a single player game like that, or you can bring in a second player, and the second player plays as the second protagonist, right? And you also have 2 slots for NPCs that you can find.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, you know my roommate.
I do.
Jesse. Okay.
Shout out to Jesse. We love Jesse around here.
Jesse is great. He and I were playing Original Sin, and we still need to beat that. We keep telling ourselves, like, oh, we gotta get back and play Original Sin because it's a really good game. The second one just came out. We want to play that because that's 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I could talk about Original Sin all day, but one of the coolest things about it is that you have, very early on, you get these 2 little pyramids in your inventory.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you use it, it pops you over to the location of the other pyramid, okay? So if I've got a pyramid in my inventory and Jesse's got a pyramid in his inventory, if I use my pyramid, I pop over to him, okay? If I throw my pyramid on the ground, let's say through some like jail cell bars, and then he uses his pyramid, he ends up in that jail cell, okay? It's a really cool little, like, neat little feature. It's just these items that teleport to each other. If I remember correctly, they're actually in at least one other Divinity game. And another thing is that my character I was playing as, because again, you can customize 2-player characters. So I mean, Jesse customized one, I customized the other. And my character has access to air magic, which includes lightning and stuff. And a couple of spells in that skill line or whatever, are teleportation based. Like, I can teleport to an enemy and shock them with electricity, and another one lets me target an enemy and I pick somewhere else on the screen and they teleport like 10 feet above it and fall to the ground, take some damage, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I can do that to Jesse too, which he hates. But it's great because one time, like, the teleportation in this game is just really easy to is really easy to play around with. Like, there have been multiple times where we got into like a crazy fight. Because remember, like I said, this is turn-based. When you go into combat, time pauses and it starts going in turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing you can do in combat is you can get far enough away from the enemies that you can flee to the nearest like waypoint, right?
Yeah.
Which is like the teleportation system or whatever. And so there have been times where we had a huge combat where I would use the teleportation button, like the fleeing option. I'd like end up back in like the middle of town. And again, Jess is still in turn-based.
Right.
I'm not. So I can go to like the shop, I can be like, hey, I need like 30 health potions. And I can use my pyramid, teleport right back to him, and be all like, hey bro, I got you. And so it's a really easy, fun game to mess around with the teleportation mechanics in that.
Yeah.
There was one time where we couldn't solve a puzzle to get into a boss fight. Couldn't figure it out to save our lives. Turns out it was really easy. There's just a bunch of levers we had to pull, and we just couldn't see one of them.
Yeah.
So we couldn't, and it happened to be the one that would open the door we needed to get to this boss fight. Well, the boss fight there were some ledges. Like, there was one ledge where I could look out and, you know, like a yard or two away, there's the ledge that the boss is on, okay? And you can't jump it, but you can use your teleportation spell to take your teammate, to teleport him to the other end, and then use your little pyramid and pop over to where he is, and he takes a little bit of damage, and you're both at the boss fight. Now, I'd like to say that and tell you that is how we beat that boss. You know, we snuck up on them and kicked their ass and didn't need no puzzle, but no. We got our shit kicked in quite a bit, and we eventually just went back and solved the puzzle the right way. So it didn't really help at all, but it was a really cool game because it lets you fuck around with teleportation in some cool ways.
That's interesting.
It's neat.
Yeah. You brought up an interesting topic. How big is your backlog, RJ? How many?
Oh my god.
How many games do you have in your? Mine is never ending. I have several 80+ hour JRPGs that I would like to play. I've heard very good things about, but fuck man.
Right. My Steam library alone, okay, that's games I own and intend to play or have played.
Mm-hmm.
My Steam library alone is 400 games.
Fuck.
Yeah. 400 games. I think the last time I went through and like used a Steam account calculator or whatever to find out how many of those games I played, I think it came out to like 40% of them. And that is with me taking some of those games and launching them just long enough to get Steam cards and actually playing the games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I have got a massive backlog. I can't imagine. Every time I try to go and organize it, like, oh, hey, here's all the games that I've like started a playthrough of, need to complete. Here's all the games that I bought and haven't played. I can't organize it. It's too big.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's some entire series that I intend to play through from start to finish, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Do you remember Operation Rainfall?
No, what is that?
Okay, so check it. Operation Rainfall was an effort by fans of Nintendo games. So let me back up. Nintendo Wiis are region locked, i.e. if you get a European or Japanese game, you can't play it on a North American
very
Wii.
Sad.
That is really sad.
That always bothers me.
I hate region locking. I really do. Okay.
It's useless.
It is absolutely useless. It is a detriment to giving them money, which is what you think they would want. There was a big push to get some Japanese and European games localized over here. The Last Story, which eventually did make its way over. Xenoblade.
The Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I think it is amazing. They named The Last Story.
They got away with that name.
They got away with calling their game Final Fantasy. Right. But Last Story, that was one that finally made its way over. Xenoblade was another one that also made its way over. I don't think Pandora's Tower ever made it over. That's another one. Fatal Frame 4, I don't think ever got a North American release. I know there is a translation patch for it.
Gotcha.
Disaster Day of Crisis, I don't think ever made its way over from Europe. I have all these games now, by the way, because I fucking soft-modded my Wii. God damn it! Why don't you let me just give me your money? But no, there's so many. I haven't played The Last Story. I haven't played Xenoblade. I'm
I want to
about.
play Xenoblade. That's a game I've always been interested in.
I haven't played Pandora's Tower. I played through most of it, like a good 40%. But God, just so, and that's just on the Wii alone. And there's so much. When Hastings went out of business, my PS3 library increased exponentially because I just got so many games. I was like, oh, I'll play that game. Oh yeah, 25 cents.
Me and Humble
I'll play
Bundles.
that game. Yeah, same here. Humble Bundle.
Great. The Humble Bundles are amazing.
I think my Steam library is like 80 strong. I think I played like 15.
Like I said, 400 here. But yeah, that is definitely a problem that plagues me. And it's such a first world problem.
It is. It really is.
You ever heard of Deus Ex?
Yeah, I know Deus Ex.
Okay, Deus Ex is great. I remember watching Zero Punctuation review of the original Deus Ex once, and the guy that does Zero Punctuation, Yahtzee, another great internet personality.
Well, we'll asterisk that.
I
Great for my
happen to
end.
have a positive opinion.
Okay.
No, but anyways, he made a really great point when he was talking about it, because he likes Deus Ex.
Yeah.
He made a really good point that people who look back fondly on the first Deus Ex, which it is a great game,
Yeah.
tend to look back fondly on the first level specifically, because whenever someone goes to reinstall Deus Ex, they always go play like the first level or two, and then like drop off and never play it again. Eventually uninstall it, and then they go to reinstall it at some point because they actually want to beat the game. That's where that meme, like every time someone mentions it, you know, someone will reinstall it. That was originally a Deus Ex meme, as far as I know. And there's a couple more games that have co-opted that.
Yeah.
But I'm really familiar with it, and I'm really familiar with that point that Yahtzee made, because that was my problem, was that I had installed Deus Ex so many times over the years, only played the first level or like maybe the level after it, and one day I was like, no, I am going to sit down, I'm going to beat this masterpiece of a fucking game. And so I forced myself past like whatever point, you know, I had never gotten past, and just whizzed right through the rest of the game, and ended up being, you know, one of the best gaming experiences of my life. I love the game. Very dated now, but it's a really good game.
I've been replaying a lot of games from my childhood lately. I was, to me, it was a masterpiece when I was growing up, but Turok Evolution on GameCube, it's not a good game at all.
No.
I replayed it recently, I was like, oh wow, I thought this was good.
Turok died after the 64.
Turok 2, Seeds of Evil.
What was the third one too? There was like a multiplayer third one. Like, I mean, they're all multiplayer. There was a third one that was like really multiplayer.
You're talking about Dino Wars.
Was it?
Turok Dino Wars?
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole little trilogy. Based on a comic. Did you know that?
I did know that. Did you ever play Shadow Man on N64?
No, I think you asked me about this at some point.
Shadow Man is a good time.
I did play, I mean, I've talked to you about this before. Rocket Robot on Wheels. Hidden Gem.
A good game.
Hidden
That is a really good game.
That was my first ever video game, right?
Do you know Mischief Makers?
No.
I love Mischief Makers. I love Treasure in general. Treasure is such a good, well, they were. They don't exist anymore, but, God, I love Treasure. So many good games. They made Gunstar Heroes. Do you know that on Genesis?
Yes, actually.
They made Radiant Silvergun too.
I don't know that.
Really?
You're really just going to grill me on all these things I don't know in front of the entire internet?
Oh, fuck off.
It's usually me talking to all my normie friends. I'm all like, what do you mean you haven't heard of Silent Hill?
Hey, everybody, this is the part of the podcast where RJ gets on his pedestal and fucking turns his nose up at everybody.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stop myself right here.
What the fuck was I talking about? I was talking about, okay, N64.
We were talking about video games.
Yeah.
We mentioned backlog at some point.
Yeah.
We mentioned, like,
we
just got onto, like, the topic of games from...
Oh, yeah.
You talked about Turok.
Yeah, we were talking about games that... Okay, I was replaying that. The game fucking blows, but I remember it very fondly. I was replaying 13 on PlayStation 2. Do you know that game?
No, I don't.
First-person shooter. I believe it's made by Ubisoft, if I remember correctly. And it has a comic book art style, and it's really good.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, it's not really good. I replayed it, and I was like, oh,
these not cool.
These shooter controls definitely don't hold up. But it's an interesting game, and it looks really good. That's the important thing. I was replaying Metroid Prime 2 because I had that when I was a kid.
That's-
I still have
That
never.
whole trilogy is great.
I still have never played the original.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Huh.
only played the second one.
The original, I would say, is probably the superior game, but
I believe
all
it.
three are great.
Yeah.
The third one's very linear, though.
Yeah, it's very true.
It's super good. Don't get me wrong.
I played through a little bit of it. I think I got to probably past the first boss fight.
All right.
Yeah.
So you probably know whether you like it or not. So
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I would like to see more systems throughout the game. Like that's
gameplay features.
Yeah,
Or...
no, that's me saying like I would like to see what else they do.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I'm still very early into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about games that you were playing from childhood.
Yeah.
You mentioned bad controls. That reminds me of a great topic near and dear to my heart. PS2 games from back when game developers couldn't decide whether they wanted to use the right analog stick or not. That was a good time. You had a lot of games that were like 3D. They were full 3D games that would have like fixed cameras and stuff, and I look back on those really fondly. I know most people don't.
RJ, there's this ad that you sent me that I absolutely love for the game Aliens vs Predator, and I'll throw it up right here. Just talking about like
I love that
using
image.
2 control sticks is like this fucking crazy.
Right.
It's like I think they rated it like badly. They're like,
Yeah,
it's kind
they
of
said it was like the only true horrifying part of the game or
yeah,
something like that.
it's the bad controls. Can you imagine using 2 control sticks to move yourself around?
Oh my god, yeah, that's a
Oh.
wonderful image. I have gone back. I know that image is a bit viral.
Yeah.
So I have actually gone back and found the original review
Yeah.
and read it
Yeah.
and made sure it's correct, and
Yeah.
it is.
Okay.
It is actually something that was actually in professional review.
I love
Complaining about the 2 analog stick
Yeah.
control scheme.
there's this magazine cover I love from like I think it's like 1990 fucking
Oh, was
something.
it the Unreal one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
This
know
is
exactly
a
what you're
real
talking
game.
about. Oh my god. It's wonderful stuff. I think that was PC Gamer.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very interesting. No, controls definitely are a weird thing to look back at
Mhm.
because have you ever played Armored Core?
I have played Armored Core 5.
All right, I have not, so I don't know
Armored
if they ever
Core-
fixed the control scheme. or
The
not.
control scheme is still very foreign to me. I
All right.
don't understand it at all.
Yeah, because I've been going back and playing like Armored Core 2 and Armored Core 3 because
Mhm.
Armored Core is a good series made by From Software, like Dark
Yeah.
Souls, and so
aware.
so they're good games. They
Yeah.
genuinely are. Actually, share some characters with Dark Souls lore apparently.
Really?
Yeah, like Ornstein. Ornstein is in
Really? That's very
one of the
interesting.
Armored Core games, I guess.
Nice.
And the Moonlight, like they've got like something called like the Moonlight like Star Saber or something weird like that.
I
It's like
see.
the Moonlight Greatsword. I guess
Okay.
that's something From puts in a lot of their games.
That's very interesting.
I like From, but I'm not a huge From fanboy, so I don't know how accurate what I'm saying is. But that is apparently stuff that's in those games.
Really?
But anyways, I've been going back and looking at Armored Core 2 and 3, and it's really crazy stuff, like, because the shoulder buttons are controlling most of the actual orientation, and it's just really, really frustrating. It's really bad going back.
It's very
And
true.
I'm sure those controls were fine for the time.
Yeah.
No, they're not good now.
Yeah.
But I do like games that give the right analog stick some really cool function, like if you play like Metal Gear Solid 2, you get a sword in that game,
Yeah.
like really late in the game.
Yeah.
And yes, like moving the right analog stick moves that sword around.
Yeah.
So it's how you hack and slash in that game.
Nice, man. Well, fuck. Do you want to bring this thing to a close?
Yeah, we can do that if you think that we've talked about everything we need to talk about.
All right, man. Do you want to do a plug?
Like,
Where can the people find you?
like me?
Yeah.
I don't want people to know where to find me.
No, you fool.
Well,
You don't have to plug anything. It's okay.
Here is something that you should all know. Don't look for me. Just don't. There's probably really cringy stuff from way back in the day.
Homie. Streisand effect. They're gonna find you now. They're gonna laugh at you.
I'm sure that these fans that we totally have are going to be really respectful of my privacy in this increasingly digital age.
And if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean. Hey, you can find me at ramenchaman.newgrounds or at Twitter at ramenchaman. Thank you. Mwah.
Well, anyways, pretty good start.
Pretty good start.
Yeah, we'll see where we go from here.
We'll record about an hour and a half. It's gonna be like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cut out.
Hell yeah, dude.
So.
All right.
Well, I hope everyone has a really great time. Expect to hear more from us in the future.
See you, Space Cowboy.
You're gonna carry that weight.